They beating the fuck out, bro, man. They beating his ass. Look. Damn, that's a lawsuit. They beating the fuck out, bro.
Why they beating him like that?
Why they doing him like that, though? Look.
A man with a history of resisting arrest got tangled up with Columbus police again. This time, however, there's video of it on social media. For some, it's just the down and dirty side of police work. For others, it looks like police brutality. NBC4's Ted Hart is live tonight at Columbus Police Headquarters with more. Ted?
Well, and Mike, it's a use of force incident that will now be reviewed and investigated by Police Internal Affairs to determine whether or not the response was appropriate and within policy.
Put your hands behind your back.
What you hear on the video is officers ordering the suspect to comply. What you see are officers punching and kicking the suspect.
You don't get the whole story from from a Facebook post or from comments made on social media.
Police spokesman Sergeant Dean Worthington says officers are trained on a use of force continuum.
We are allowed to punch. We are allowed to kick. That's part of our use of force continuum, and it all depends on what the behavior of the suspect is at the time.
The suspect, Timothy Davis, has a fairly extensive criminal history, including multiple charges of resisting arrest and assaulting a police officer. There was a warrant out for his arrest, and that's why officers followed him into the East Side Market on September 2nd.
Put your hands behind your back. I'm not doing no shit. You ain't complying, bro.
Some social media posts have called for a boycott of the store, suggesting the owner had some responsibility for what happened. Owner Jihad Elzaban said he'd never seen Davis before.
The police coming in here and arresting him. They probably have a warrant arrest or something.
This was not a situation where you called the police.
No, I didn't call the police.
And jail officials say that after the first night in custody, Davis complained of some medical issues. He was taken to Grant Medical Center, where he spent the next 3 days. He is now back in the Franklin County Jail. Live at police headquarters, Ted Hart, NBC4.
Ted, thank you. Video of Timothy Davis's arrest has sparked controversy throughout the community.
Right now, there are concerned citizens speaking inside City Hall, calling for a change in the City Council meeting tonight. Let's listen in.
Timothy's injuries were so bad that he had to be rolled in on a wheelchair to go to court. During his court hearing on Friday, his family saw that his condition was bad, and they cried out at the sight of him. The judge didn't show no kind of sympathy, no compassion at all, the presiding judge. He told them to refrain from crying. Timothy is still in detention and was scheduled to appear to court today for assaulting an officer. He was beaten by plainclothes officers, plainclothes Columbus police. We are here to demand that council support the request that Timothy Davis' family have Timothy transferred to a general hospital where you may receive higher level of care.
And you're listening to an address from a concerned citizen addressing Columbus City Council now concerning a recent case which he considers police brutality. We'll have much more on this tonight on NBC4 at 11 o'clock.
The American Red Cross is already...
Send him over. Hey, Tim, get up in the wagon, bro. Come on, the medic's here. You ain't gonna die. Let the medic check him out, man. Medic's right here. Let the medic look at him real quick. Turn his head over this way. Look at his neck. He's fine. But he got a bag. That's him.
What are we tasing for? Why don't we just choke the fucking life out of him?
I think they did for a while.
Good. Good.
I can't breathe. It's with 10-3. I can't breathe. Oh. Stop trying to fall. I can't breathe.
Oh, stop it.
I can't breathe.
Then maybe you shouldn't have fought like an asshole.
I can't breathe, sir. You stop back on the child. I can't breathe.
Yeah.
I can't breathe. And stop eating. I can't breathe. Sit up. No. No. It's over here for me. No. No. So what's the... Help. You got kids. Help. You got the probe now? Yeah. Help. Do you have any other complaints of pain? Help. What else you need from the medic? Help. Stop. You're forcing your way that way. You're required. You got the probe. The probe. I can't breathe, sir. All right. Did you already pull now? You're literally forcing that way. Stick stuff in your face.
This is precious.
Tim Davis. Relation? Yeah. I can't breathe. It sounds like you're breathing. I'm not a doctor, though.
You're just out of breath from fighting, sir. You can breathe just fine.
Sir, I can't breathe. See, that's more exhaling you're doing. Every time you say you can't breathe, it's exhaling. I can't breathe. I'm choking.
Get up.
I can't breathe.
You can breathe. You're talking.
I can't breathe, sir. Sir.
There, he's getting now. That's perfect.
There you go, right there. Sir. I can't breathe, sir.
Hey, Eric.
Where's that I can't breathe.
No, not in. No, not in.
You want to lay right here for
That's fine. That's cool. We're cool with that.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, he's.
I can't breathe.
Yes, clean the head up.
I need help.
113 copy, 1679 919.
Can you imagine fighting him by yourself? That'd be intense. That'd be intense. He's one of those guys that, I'd have to choke him. Yeah. You'd have to put him out. Yeah. That's one of those when you have to fight him, you have to choke him. Yeah. You can't. There's no, okay, I'm going to armbar you to the ground.
You're going to stop resisting, sir.
No, I'm going to for real armbar you. And then when that still doesn't work, I'm going to choke the life out of you. And then while you're drooling on yourself, I'll handcuff you. And then when I get asked, why'd you choke this motherfucker? I'm like, because it was better than shooting him and going to fucking jail. I'll take my fucking owl policy, DCC.
And another new video just into our newsroom shows a different vantage point of Timothy Davis being carried into jail by deputies. And Davis was arrested September 1st. Cell phone video showing him being punched and kicked by officers during the arrest has been seen thousands of times online. NBC4's Katie Farrell is live at the Watch 4 Alert Desk with more and this new video. Katie?
Ellie, as you could see behind you, this new color video is 3.5 minutes long. It shows Davis from the time he was taken out of a law enforcement van to when he was left in his cell. The video appears to show Davis with his shirt up around his neck. His shorts are pulled down, exposing his boxers. He's carried into his cell by deputies who are heard taking a log of his injuries. They mention scratches on his back, a laceration on his lip and forehead, bruising on his ribs, and say his right eyebrow is swollen. Deputies are seen taking off his clothes and can be heard saying that they're waiting for a uniform. The video ends with the deputies leaving the cell, and Davis appears to be left face down with a towel covering him. A second video with a timestamp of 8:30 the next morning shows Davis being processed, making a phone call, and having his mugshot taken. And I reached out to the Franklin County Sheriff's Office tonight. They tell me that they are still processing that video and all the information regarding Davis's booking into jail. They say once the review is final, then they will proceed. Mark?
Katie, thank you. Tonight, a Columbus police officer pulled from duty over comments caught on camera is apologizing. 10 TV's Glenn McIntyre has the officer's comments and the letter the chief sent to everyone who wears a badge.
Officer Joseph Bogart's body camera after the violent arrest of a suspect.
I'm going to for real armbar you, and then when that still doesn't work, I'm going to choke the life out of you. And then while you're drooling on yourself, I'll handcuff you.
Bogart's statement was made on September 1st after his fellow officers engaged in a several minutes long struggle with suspect Timothy Davis. Yesterday, Columbus Police Chief Kim Jacobs called Bogart's statements unprofessional and inappropriate. She pulled him from the street and initiated an internal affairs investigation into whether his comments reflect his performance in the field. Today, the police union released a statement saying Officer Bogart is sincerely apologetic for his remarks and he understands that he may be subject to discipline. Tonight, 10 TV has also obtained a letter from Jacobs to the men and women of Columbus Police. She says Bogart's comments made her sad and embarrassed. She said his comments do not reflect the division of police, but that they give both our non-supporters and supporters reason to question all of our intentions. Yes, it was just one officer, Jacobs said, but we all wear the same uniform, and comments like these shock the conscience.
Meanwhile, the actions of the other officers directly involved in the arrest of Timothy Davis are also under review. Officers arrested Davis for outstanding warrants and say he resisted fighting and biting officers. Cell phone video shows the officers punching and kicking Davis. His family and community activists say it's a case of police brutality.
So, Glenn, what's next in this case now?
Well, Columbus Police Internal Affairs is investigating to determine whether the officers used excessive force in that incident that you just saw on video. Timothy Davis is in jail tonight. He'll be arraigned tomorrow on charges of felonious assault against an officer and obstructing official business. You'll find much more on this story on 10tv.com.
Glenn, thank you.